Andy, did you hear that whistle?
Sure did, Amos. That whistle means Rinso white, Rinso bright, Rinso new.
That's right. It means this is a Sunday and we're on the air for Rinso with Solium in it.
The Amos and Andy Show. Johnny Lee, Jeff Alexander's music, and radio's all-time favorites. Yes, sir, the Amos and Andy Show, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of Rinso, the only soap that contains Solium. That's why Rinso gets your clothes whiter and brighter than new.
Rinso, Rinso,
Rinso new.
happy little birthday song.
Well, today, Andy had to visit his dentist on the 15th floor of the Lennox Professional Building. Still feeling the frown of all people, failed to notice a very beautiful young woman who was already in the self-service elevator.
Well, let me push.
Everything went fine till the elevator was between the 10th and 11th floors. Then...
It stopped here. Let's see here. Looks like the power is off.
Oh, good heavens, we're trapped in here. What can we do? What in the world can we do?
Well, we could... the thing is, we could... Hello.
Oh, dear, I'm so terribly frightened. Do you realize we may be trapped in here together?
Yeah, I've been looking on the bright side of it myself.
Oh, look down the wall. There's a button. It says emergency button.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. No use pushing that, though. The power is probably off on that, too.
Well, now, we can't just stand here like this. We got to do something. Oh, please call for help.
Well, I don't think
Oh,
it...
please call for help.
All right. Help. Help. Well, guess ain't nobody hear us.
Oh, dear.
You know, honey, as long as you were here 4 terrible hours, wouldn't better if we made each other's name as Andrew H. Brown.
Well, I'm Pamela Jackson, the actress.
Pamela? That's a pretty name. You know, Pamela, you was one of the sweetest gals I'd ever...
Hey, up there!
Oh, someone is calling.
What you want?
Don't worry, we'll have you out in 5 minutes.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Henry, you mean to say that Andy done got his picture in the newspaper?
Yes, Kingfish is right there under the headline. It says under the picture, well-known local character trapped in elevator for 4 hours with stage beauty.
Yeah, that's some picture, all right.
Yes, it was took right after the rescue squad pulled Andy and the gal out of the elevator.
Yeah, that's some disappointed look on Andy's got on his face there. I ain't seen as sad an expression as that since the time Governor Dewey found out the Gallipool was wrong. But tell me, how come they was trapped for 4 hours?
Well, it seems for the first 2 hours that every time the fireman throwed Andy a rope, he throwed it right back. Oh, I tell you, Kingfish, Andy's got a terrific crush on this gal.
Well, what's Andy doing having a crush on actors? He don't know nothing about players or nothing like that. That boy don't know King O'Leary from Pig Mulligan. He don't know nothing.
Well, I don't know about that. He's fully aware of his shortcomings. Before he calls on the gal and flies his troth, I know that he's thinking of going to one of them charm schools to get himself etiquetted up.
Yeah, well, he oughtn't have no trouble finding one. There's lots of them in town, them charm schools.
Well, I guess he plans to go to a good one because he went to the bank and brought out $50.
Funny thing, Henry. Right after you mentioned $50 to me, I suddenly realized there ain't as many charm schools around as I thought. In fact, the only good one that I know is the George Stevens Institute of Charm and Culture, founded as of now. Henry, I'll give that boy more polish than the seat of a bookkeeper's pants. And when I finish with him, he'll be able to go right up and propose marriage to the gal.
Well, Kingfish, of course, I hate to see poor Andy get mixed up with the affliction known as wedlock.
Yeah, it ain't no bed of roses, is it, Henry?
It certainly ain't. You know, Kingfish, you was here to them yogis that lays around on the bed of spikes and walks barefooted through red-hot coals, sits out in the sun all day screaming and hollering in agony?
Yeah?
Well, compared to a married man, one of them boys is a regular smiling Irishman.
charm schools, I think I'll drop in here and see the Kingfish. No. What is this sign he got on the door here? George Stevens Charm Dispensary and Culturatorium. Slobs cooped up by the day or the week. Well, let me get in here. Say, Kingfish.
Oh, excuse me, I was on the phone here to Mrs. Vanderbilt. What's that, Mrs. Vanderbilt? Oh, you're giving a tea and a weenie roast for the 400 and you want a little cultural advice, huh? Yeah, well, some schools have thought like to sop up the tea with the pinky extended in the air. But I find that with the little pinky sticking up and the spoon in the cup, too, a person liable to poke his eye out before he gets a swig of the stuff. Yeah, well, I figure that the safest way is to illuminate the cups and lap the stuff right out of the saucer. It's noisy, but you don't risk your vision, you see. Yeah, well, that's all right, Miss Vanderbilt. Just mail me a check. Well, let's get together soon and pitch some diamond horseshoes. All right, so long.
Say, Kingfish, I thought that sign on the door out there was a phony, but you being this chummy with Mrs. Vanderbilt make the whole thing legitimate, don't it?
Yes, I is the arbiter of society, Andy. I done bit up some of the biggest people in town, you know.
You know, I've been considering going to a charm school, Kingfish. Conferentials, how does I stack up with the charm and the culture? Could they make something out of me?
Well, Andy, when a sculptor's going to sculpt a statue, no matter how beautiful it ends up, you always got to start out with a mold of clay.
Yeah.
But believe me, Andy, I ain't never seen nothing as moldy as you is.
It's pretty bad, huh?
Bad? Well, Andy, listen. Just talking at ransom here now, think of the impression you might make if you'd run into some gal, say, an actress, in some place, say, talking at ransom again, like the elevator.
Well, now, there's a funny thing, because I done met an actress, and I was in the elevator. And I does want to make an imprint on her, too.
Hey, well, how you like that, Andy? I hit the nail right on the head. I must be psychopathic. I ain't never didn't know I had this.
Hey, listen, Kingfish, could you do something for me? I'd pay you $50.
Well, I tell you what, you kind of present a challenge to me there, son. Take off your coat there.
Yeah.
We'll start right away. We'll pitch right into the charm and culture. Now, the first lesson in etiquette is how to enter a room. Now, how does you enter a room?
Well, usual through the door.
Well, there you go, Andy. Just playing the ignorance again. Now, let's just say that Emily Post was going to come calling on us in this room here at the Lodge Hall.
Yeah, let's say that.
All right, well, the first thing Emily would do would be to pick up a lorgnette and look at the sign on the door, make sure she got it right. And then she would knock gently on the door and say, "Ain't there no one within?" And I'd say, "Entree." And she'd say, "Merci." And I'd buku right back at her. Then she'd enter, looking neither to the left nor to the right. She'd cross to the other side of the room with her head majestically in the air.
Yeah, well, if Miss Post is coming, you better move that cuspidor, because she's going to fall right smack over it. Look, Kingfish, I think we is losing ground here.
No, Andy. Don't get discouraged here. I'm going to spend the whole day culturing you up. And then we're going to hire a dress suit this evening and going over to the stage door, and you're going to sweep that Pamela Jackson right off her feet.
Wait a minute, Kingfish. I mentioned she was an actress, but I didn't mention no name. How come you knows it?
Well, I did say her name, didn't I? Well, how you like that, Andy? I must be more psychopathic than I thought I was.
Kingfish, what is we doing across the street over here from the theater? What's that for?
Well, Andy, this is to give us a good vantage point to see the stage door when Pamela Jackson come out.
Boy, I was nervous, too. How do I look, Kingfish?
Andy, with that top hat and white tie and tails, you look great. You was the picture of sartorial ignorance.
Another thing, what is this perfume you done sprayed all over me, Kingfish?
A special blend, Andy, that I hooked up myself. It's a mixture of taboo and DDT. You see, Andy, the stuff attracts the women but keeps off the flies.
Well, I hope she goes for me, Kingfish, because I ain't never felt this crazy about a gal in my whole life. Oh, I tell you, Kingfish.
Wait a minute now, Andy. Someone coming out the stage door across the street there now.
Oh, yeah, it's Pamela, too. Hot dog. Here I go, Kingfish. Hey, wait a minute. She got a man with her. Oh, me.
Here, look at him, Andy. They're going down the street. He's wearing one of them expensive coats with the fur collar on it.
Oh, Kingfish, how you like that? Oh, that really crushes me. You know, I think I'm going to throw myself in the river.
No, take it easy now, Andy. Let's get across the street to the stage door and find out who that fella is. Come on, Andy.
Yeah. Here he is now. I'll knock on the door here.
Funny time to stage door, isn't it?
Yeah, what is it?
Excuse me, mister. I wonder if you could tell me the name of the man who just left here, the one with the fur collar.
Sure. That's Fred Williams, the director and producer of the show. One of the wealthiest men in the business. What do you two fellas want? I suppose you're a couple of stage door Johnnies.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. My name is Andy. But I kind of figured on taking Miss Jackson home.
Oh, you figured on taking her home. Oh, well, just look in this door a minute. Over there on that waiting bench are 15 men who want to take Miss Jackson home, and they're here every night.
Wait a minute. Hey, look at that fella down at the other end. He looked familiar. Hey, you.
Well, I'll be doggone if it ain't. Well, look who's out of the higher, fella.
Holy smoke, Shorty. Kingfish, everybody in town has got a crush on my gal Pamela.
Happy little wash day song, for a wash that's whiter and brighter than new. Rinso washes, Rinso new. Rinso white,
Whiter than new,
Rinso bright,
brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Rinso New. It's true. Rinso, the only soap that contains solium, gets white clothes whiter and washable colors brighter than new. That statement is certified by the laboratories of the United States Testing Company, Incorporated. Yes, Rinso gets clothes Rinso New because Rinso puts sunshine in your wash, even if you dry it indoors. It's a fact that no other soap gets your wash so white or so bright because no other soap contains the scientific sunlight ingredient solium. Use Rinso for your heaviest wash. You'll see for yourself that Rinso gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. And yet, Rinso is so safe for your clothes and so kind to your hands. So on wash day, use Rinso and see your wash become whiter, brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso bright.
Rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
How you like that, Amos? For the first time in my life, I fall in love with a gal, and then I find out that every other fellow in town is crazy about her.
Oh, listen, Andy, don't take it so bad. After all, as far as women go, you've always had a big turnover. I didn't think this would hit you this hard.
Oh, Amos, it done smit me a blow. I ain't been able to sleep, and I ain't been able to eat or nothing.
Oh, wait a minute, Andy. Don't tell me that you ain't been able to eat.
Oh, yes, Amos. I went down to the hash house last night and ordered a hamburger. They done served it to me. Then I started thinking of Pamela, and I started crying.
Crying?
Oh, I really blubbered, Amos. The tears done fell all over the hamburger. The ketchup started running. The bread sogged up on me. Oh, I tell you, Amos, that was one of the loosest meals I'd ever had in a long time.
Well, just the same, Andy, you can't.
Oh, come in, King.
Well. How is the injected food on this bright sunshine morning?
Oh, shut up.
Well, I'm glad you come, Kingfish, because I got to get back to the taxi, and I don't want to leave Andy feeling the way he do. I'll drop by again later.
Okay.
Well, then, from the looks of you, I guess it was pretty much of a surprise seeing Pamela come out at the stage door there with the other fella.
Surprise. I felt exactly like the nearsighted hen did on the farm when it tried to hatch a live coal.
And I ain't never seen you so broke up in my whole life.
Oh, yeah, I was in bad shape, Kingfish. To tell you the truth, I've been thinking about doing something desperate, you know it?
But now, wait a minute, Andy. Don't never talk like that.
No, Kingfish, with Pamela gone, there ain't no sense in me going on.
Now, see here, boy, I just ain't going to have you talk that way. Now, that's all there is to it.
Well, I even figured on giving you my suit and my clothes and my gold ring.
Oh, Andy.
Yeah, that's right. And after I go to the great beyond, I'm going to make you the beneficiary in my $5,000 life insurance policy.
Well, if it's going to make you happy, Andy, well, be it for me to stop you. Anything I can do to help, get you a gun or rope, anything, let me know, and I want to make you happy.
See there, now, that's just like you, Kingfish. You is a fine pal. You don't care how I feels or nothing. You got a heart like a anvil.
Oh, listen, Andy, I've been analyzing this whole situation. After all, All this local talent has been hanging around Pamela there. That don't count, because you has always been the lover boy of the neighborhood.
Well, what you got in mind, Kingfish?
Well, if you could just cut this Fred Williams out, why, you'd have a clear field with Pamela.
Yeah, but how am I going to do that?
Well, and I was just thinking, if you read up some love letters, sign them Pamela, and then showed them to that fellow William, that would make him believe that you was one of Pamela's in love with. Then he'd drop out of the picture.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could lay it on thick in the letters. But do you think that'll work, Kingfish?
Oh, certainly, Andy. It's the old French technique. The more toujours, the more. In other words, you got to show this fella that she has got more l'amour for you than she got to endure for him. You see? Well, Andy, we got 3 of these love letters written here. Let's really turn on the steam with this next one here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kingfish.
All right. Start off there on the typewriter. Dearest honey baby, sweetie, Cookie Andy. Now say, cannot go on without you. For you, my heart has got the grand passion. That's P-A-S-S-H-U-N. Does that look right to you, Andy?
Well, the pass look all right, but the shun seemed to be a little out of focus. Ain't you got a consomme in there where you ought to have a foul?
Yeah, I believe it is, yeah.
Look, Kingfish, maybe you better forget about them 3-syllable words. Just put down that you love me there.
Say, listen, Andy. You know the L has been busted off this typewriter. He could be nuts about you, crazy about you, and mad about you, but one thing she can't do is in love with you on this typewriter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, go ahead, Kingfish. Do the best you can.
All right. My honey, I is... Uh-oh. There goes the K. She can't want to kiss you no more, neither.
Yeah, and when the S fell off that thing, we done lost smooching and sweetheart.
Yeah, Andy, this typewriter ain't gonna let you get to first base with no gal. Yeah, Andy, we ain't getting no place doing this. Look here, I know a gal down at the cigar store. We'll get her to write up a batch of love letters for you.
Yeah, that'd be better. But tell her, though, before she writes them, to be sure and wash up her hands. We don't want the love letters to be smelling of no panatellas.
Where you calling from, Andy? Oh, the cigar store, huh? You done got the letters, huh? Pretty hot stuff? Oh, fine. Now, the thing to do is to take them right over to the theater and show them to that fellow Fred Williams. Yeah, of course you go alone. You know 2 is coming, 3 is the crowd and all that stuff. Yeah, well, let me know how you make out, son. So long, old boy. Well, now, let me see here. Well, Shorty the barber.
Kingfish, I just come over to tell you that I want you to know that the information I got, you ain't listening.
Yeah, well, I tell you, Shorty, I never know whether you was talking or you got indigestion.
Listen, Kingfish, I come over to tell you something about that girl that me and Andy is crazy about. That Pamela Jackson.
Yeah, well, what about her?
Kingfish, I just found out that Pamela Jackson is married.
Married?
Not only that, she's got a husband.
Now, wait a minute, Shorty. Her name is Miss Pamela Jackson. You can't go around missing yourself if you was married.
Oh, no, Pamela Jackson is just a stage name. And, boy, what I heard about her husband. They say he's the most jealous man that ever lived. They say that he'd just kill anybody that as much as looked at his wife.
Holy smokes. If Pamela's got a jealous husband, I know 2 boys that is really in trouble. Andy Brown and that fellow Fred Williams, the stage manager.
Oh, Andy's the only one that's in trouble. Fred Williams is Pamela's husband.
Holy smokes. And Andy's on his way up there now to show him a batch of phony love letters from Pamela. What has I done? That poor innocent boob is going to walk in there wide open. How's I going to explain this? What is I going to say the next time I see Andy?
Oh, that's easy. Just say that you're sorry that the thing happened. Just say it wasn't your fault and that you're going to... just say the whole thing was a mistake and that you're going to... Just say that... rest in peace.
This is Ken Niles. Ladies, here's an exciting new holiday offer from Rinso with Solium. A big, beautiful floral plastic tablecloth of the best quality. The supply is limited, so you must act now. This amazing cloth measures approximately 54 by 54 inches, just perfect for your dinette or card table. It's stain resistant, a certified $1.50 value. All you do to get it is send 50 cents and 2 Rinso box tops to Rinso, Box 36, New York 46, New York. You want several of these handsome, long-lasting, colorful cloths for your own holiday entertaining and for gifts. So act now. For each floral plastic cloth, send just 50 cents and 2 Rinso box tops to Rinso, Box 36, New York 46, New York. Allow 3 weeks for delivery. Be sure to send for yours right away.
Oh, me. I know I ought to go over to the theater and try to stop Andy from showing Fred Williams them letters. But a jealous fella like that is liable to start shooting. And I ain't never fancied myself as being a container for hot lead. Well, I'll make it up to Andy. I'll send him a nice reef.
Good morning, Kingfish.
Well, Calhoun the lawyer, how you, boy?
Kingfish, what's wrong with you? I ain't seen a face that long since my father got run over by a steamroller.
Yeah, that was very sad. Listen, Calhoun, right now, our dear friend Andy is over there reading some phony love letters to a gal's husband. Only Andy don't know that he is a husband. Calhoun, you as a lawyer, what can I do?
Well, now, Andy's your best pal. There's only one thing you can do.
What's that?
Call up Woodlawn Cemetery and tell them to start digging a guest room.
Oh, Calhoun, ain't there nothing I can do to save Andy? After all, I done advise him to do this, and it's going to rest on my conscience all my life.
Well, if there was some way to explain Andy's action... Wait a minute. I just give myself an idea.
Sure.
Maybe you could go up there and tell the fella that Andy is an irrational person and don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. I could tell him that something once hit Andy on the head and that he has kind of slipped his moorings upstairs.
Yeah, and that natural blank expression Andy got ain't gonna hurt your story none. I tell you, get yourself a white coat and go up there like you was a doctor from the place where they got Andy confined.
Yeah, that's what I'll do, Calhoun.
And look, Kingfish, if you get there too late and Andy's already on the receiving end of a bullet, for $25 I'll deliver the eulogy for the boy.
Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah, you will deliver the eulogy, huh?
Yeah, but I gotta be careful, though, because I broke my leg delivering one of them eulogies one time.
You just gonna...
Yeah, I started out like this here, and I ran it, and I rode. Then I stormed up and down. And then I cried. And then I sobbed. And then I pleaded. And then I closed my eyes and walked up and down.
Holy smokes, Calhoun, how'd you break your leg?
In my excitement, I fell over in the grave.
Come in. Tom down at the stage door said you wanted to see me. Sorry I kept you waiting so long.
Yeah, well, I got some letters here that I want, excuse me for protruding, mister, but is you standing on a box?
No, I ain't standing on no box.
Yeah, well, I don't mean to be personal or nothing, but for a fella that directs stage plays, you look mighty husky.
Yeah. Well, I've always been interested in the stage, even when I was playing professional football.
You done give up professional football?
Well, they made me. You see, some of the officials thought I was responsible for too many injuries.
Yeah.
Then, but what was it you wanted to see me about?
Well, there ain't no sense in beating around the bushel. I got some letters here that I think you might be interested in. And I know when you hear them that you're going to be a good sport and not win for no more injuries or nothing like that.
Yeah, well, what are they? Let me see them letters.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Come in.
Oh, how you do, sir? Excuse my white coat, mister, but I'm looking for a man who ain't responsible for what he said. If he already said it, but if he ain't, I want to get to him out of here before he do say it.
Yeah, what is this?
Kingfish, what is you doing in that white coat?
Kingfish, huh? This is the boy, all right. See there, mister? He thinks I was a bird. Come along, little friend. Come along.
Kingfish, what is this?
Now, just a minute here. Do you mean that this man is a fugitive from some kind of an institution?
Yeah, he done fused away from us. You see, he's not dangerous. He's just irresponsible. Unfortunate case. A couple of years ago, when he was walking by a tall building, a potted plant fell from the 15th floor and Went right through the skull of his.
Went right through his skull?
Oh, yeah. Every spring, a beautiful geranium sprouts out the back of his head. He has to get a haircut and a pruning job at the same time. Last year, he was troubled with aphis.
Listen, mister, I don't know what the Kingfish is talking about. I just come up here to show you a bunch of letters that I got. And
there you go again. Now, I'm going to explain in plain words just what's the matter with this man. And I want you both to listen carefully. Ever since he been hit on the head, he gets some love letters that he says was written by some gal and comes up and reads them to some fella. And the fella he shows them to is the gal's husband. Does you get what I was talking about, patient?
Kingfish, let's go out and prune that geranium.
Now, see here. What is all this nonsense?
Oh, forget the whole thing, mister. See you again sometime. Come along, patient dear. I'll put the net over here.
Yeah, so long, mister. If you was ever in our neighborhood, drop in. I'll introduce you to Napoleon and Josephine. Holy smokes, Kingfish. That fellow was Pamela's husband?
Yeah, that's right, Andy. Pamela Jackson is just her stage name. She is really Mrs. Fred Williams. Shorty come over and told us just in the nick of time. Andy, this is the narrowest escape you done ever had.
Oh, boy, is I grateful to that shorty. He done saved my life. I'm going to keep just as far away from that Pamela Jackson as possible. And Kingfish, I'm going to send Shorty my other $50 just to show my appreciation.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Andy.
That's right. I'll still come out ahead of the game. I figure I saved at least $150 on my funeral.
Darling, I don't know what happened. Now all I have left is you. For a while there, I thought Mr. Brown was serious about me. He was cute. Fred Williams, my brother, liked him, too. I wonder what scared off Andy Brown.
Well, you'll never know.
On behalf of Rexall Drug, we'd like to say a few words about milk and magnesia, castor oil, and a few other...
Yeah, take your time when you take that stuff, folks, and when they see it.
Oh, you're right, Andy. And remember, ladies, in all the world, no other soap contained him actually gets clothes whiter and new. Get the economical giant-size Rinso today.
Thanks, folks.
See you next Sunday.
It's here, the miracle of modern shortening. Spry is homogenized.
Homogenized?
Homogenized. Spry is homogenized.
Better use Spry.
All Spry in the blue gingham can is homogenized. It cross bacon fry. Spry is homogenized.
Better use Spry.
Be sure to be with us next Sunday at the same time when the Lever Brothers Company, makers of Rinso with Solium, will again present the Amos and Andy Show, which is written by Joe Conley, Bob Mosher, and Bob Ross. Stay tuned for the Edgar Berg and Charlie McCarthy program, which follows immediately over most of these stations. Broadcasting System.